Hey boys and girls, welcome to another super exciting, outrageous toy review. Today, we're taking a look at the Power Rangers Legacy Collection Sabertooth Tiger Zord. The packaging features a window box that lets you see the Zord and Ranger inside, as well as a cool logo with the Yellow Ranger inside the Power Ranger Lightning Bolt. The back of the box shows off the features of the Zord, as well as some of the other toys available in this line. Here's the Sabertooth Tiger Zord and Yellow Ranger out of the package. They're a pretty good representation of the character and Zord from the show. I like some of the details they've included, and some of them I think could use a little bit of work, but overall, not a bad toy. We're going to start by taking a look at the Yellow Ranger. I do want to point out that they made a separate body mold for this, which is awesome. So many times in the past have we seen Yellow and Pink Rangers using the same body as the boys, and it's a little disappointing. Here you can see the Yellow Ranger is more slender. She also doesn't have the sculpted on six-pack the Red Ranger has. As a reference, she's taller than a Mega Construx figure and a little bit bulkier than a Mask figure from the vintage Kenner line. The Yellow Ranger has no articulation at the head or waist. She has shoulder joints that can rotate as well as a bend at the elbow. She has hip joints that go about 90 degrees. No knee or ankle articulation. So, pretty basic, but still a fun minifigure to play with. She has paint apps on her chest and belt with the white there. They did not finish painting in the yellow diamonds on her gloves or boots, so she's not super detailed, but, you know, just enough. Her back is very plain, again, leaving out the diamonds. As far as painted detail on her helmet goes, they've painted her visor black. She has silver paint over her mouth and the Sabertooth Tiger teeth. It would have been nice if they had painted in the eyes on her helmet as well. It would have just, you know, made it pop a little bit more. On to the Sabertooth Tiger Zord. This is one of the most articulated Zords we've ever had. It's not limited by the combiner feature. It doesn't connect to any other Zords to make a Megazord, so they're able to give it a few more joints that would normally get in the way of a transformation sequence. That being said, not every joint works the way I would like it to, and it does look a little bit bare. There are some areas of detail that just are empty and seem kind of plain. The Sabertooth Tiger's neck is articulated up to this point, and down pretty low here. The jaw on the Sabertooth Tiger is articulated so it can't open its mouth. The teeth are non-articulated. Because you're not forming a Megazord, you don't really need them to rotate up anyway, so that's not really a bad feature. There are some stickers on the Tiger Zord's forehead here, and the eyes are painted in as well as the nose. Not bad looking. There's no painted detail inside the mouth other than the front teeth. The side of the Sabertooth Tiger Zord features a metallic sticker there. The front legs are articulated at the shoulder joint there. A really great range of motion. That moves pretty far. Then at the elbow joint, again, decent range of motion. And at the ankle, not bad either. There are no joints other than the ankle that twist out at all, so you're not going to be able to get a real wide stance or anything like that. But it is impressive that you could do a running type pose like that. Although I feel like it's the hind legs in the show that do more of that far back motion. I'm trying to remember the exact pose that the Sabertooth Tiger gets into when it's running in that, call in the Zord sequence. The Sabertooth Tiger Zord features an articulation joint here. I'm not sure if we ever saw any motion there in the show. I don't really need that motion either. I actually would rather be able to bend it down and up like this, so you could do more of a standing proud kind of a pose and have the back bend that direction, but I don't really think I need a back bend at all, personally. Then we come around to the back end here. The tail is articulated actually at 2 points. The gray laser gun tail is articulated as well as this yellow section, so you can aim the gun up to blast at bad guys. It will not go like all the way down flat, really, to form the Megazord, but that's okay. We don't need it to. There's no other motion. It's not a ball joint or anything, so you can't really aim the tail. As for the hind legs, the upper joint moves that far. Not a bad range of motion. The knee joint about that far, and then you have the ankle joint, which has a little bit of a rocker to it too. I would really like to have seen these wheels painted black. It would look a lot better. These legs just don't... They can't do a whole lot. You can't sit the cat down. They don't fold up enough to pull off a convincing seated position. They don't fold down enough to even try and make it seem like it's trying to form the Megazord. So they have good range of motion, but they just, I don't know, they don't really quite do what I would imagine they could do. I know I sounded kind of pessimistic during that part. I don't really mean to be. I kind of like the Zord. I just was surprised at how good it is at moving. It still can't do a bunch of poses that we're used to the toys that don't really pose well. Here's the newly released Sabertooth Tiger Zord alongside the Sabertooth Tiger Zord that came with the Legacy Megazord. So this one has some die-cast, mainly just in the tail and the teeth. But let's compare some positions. So this is them both in a normal standing pose. They both look pretty good. Fighting a monster with their tail laser. Roaring. I'll point out there's no articulated jaw here. Getting ready to go into tank mode. Being a leg to the Megazord. So that was mostly for fun. Obviously, this is a better piece to have on display if you are a Yellow Ranger fan and you want a great Zord as your centerpiece that can be posed, roaring, and looking like it's ready to fight on its own, whereas the other one is much better if you want it to be part of the Megazord. The other feature this Zord has is an opening cockpit area here, right behind the neck joint. This opens up. There is actually some sculpted detail in there. Not much, just basically some lines that kind of make it look like a padded seat. It's more than the T-Rex had. Again, I don't actually care what the inside of the Zord is like. I probably wouldn't do this at all. But kids will do it because it's fun to put the Rangers in and out of the Zords. So put her inside there and close the hatch up. Wow. At the end of the day, if you're a Power Rangers completist, you're going to have to get this. If you're a Yellow Ranger fan, you should probably love this. If you're a little kid looking to buy a Power Ranger toy, if you can afford the Red Ranger's T-Rex Zord, I think it's a little bit more fun, but this is not a bad set either. I showed off its limitations. It could use a little bit more paint deco, and I'm sure some customizers could do an amazing job of really making this thing shine. Thanks for watching this super exciting, outrageous toy review. Make sure to like, subscribe, and check out our other videos.